Well, Indiana lawmakers have reached the halfway point of the General Assembly. One of the key legislative agenda items for the Indiana Chamber of Commerce, WorkShare, a program that would allow employers facing tough times to reduce the hours of employees. But that didn't even get a committee vote. With reaction to that, we go to the Chamber's CEO and President, Kevin Brinegar. Kevin, I know that was a disappointment, but we'll get to that in a moment. You've had several wins at the State House so far this session, perhaps the biggest or one of the highest profile liability protections for businesses and schools and others related to COVID-19.
Absolutely. That was our number one priority this session, Gary. And the Chamber led a coalition of organizations to push that through. And that has gotten through the legislative process to the governor's desk and been signed. That bill will provide protections for schools, businesses, and hospitals who follow established guidelines, and that is retroactive back to March 1st. We want to give a shout out to Senator Mark Messmer and Representative Jerry Torr for carrying that legislation through.
Kevin, broadband, such a huge issue around the state, especially rural broadband. You're excited or enthused, I guess, about some money in the budget for that.
Yeah, the House passed budget includes $250 million to expand broadband in underserved areas. And there's also legislation coming out from the Senate side that would look at how best to use those types of funds most efficiently and effectively.
Regional cities, or originally it was the Regional Cities Initiative. Name is changing, the program changing a bit, but there's a lot of funding in the budget there as well.
Yeah, $150 million. It won't be the same sort of winner-take-all approach that we had with the original regional cities, but it will encourage multiple units of government to band together to put together programs and initiatives of regional significance. So we're very pleased about that.
The tech community obviously keeping an eye on, thanks to the State House, the venture capital tax credit, that cap, the annual cap on that increased. I assume you see that as a positive.
Yeah, that's a real positive. The annual cap is increased to $20 million, so that'll allow more venture capital tax credits to be taken.
The Chamber, you have been very out front and vocal on health and health-related issues and the lack of healthiness, I guess you will, of Indiana and the impact it has on business. The cigarette tax, there is an increase in the cigarette tax in the budget, but not as much as you would like.
Yeah, we'd say we're at halftime in the session and we're in the game. There is a 50-cent per pack increase in cigarette tax and other vaping and tobacco products. We'll continue to work on that. Our goal is to have that go up by $2 a pack so that it can really impact our health metrics and reduce smoking and use of tobacco products in Indiana.
Yeah, okay. Now we want to get to a disappointment for the Chamber and your business agenda, and that's WorkShare. There are 28 so-called WorkShare states around the country. Indiana, not one of them. You had hoped that that would change, but it didn't happen. Give us the lowdown on what happened.
Well, the bill did receive a hearing in the Senate Benches Labor Committee, Senate Bill 44. Literally every member of the committee would have voted for it except the chairman. Over half the committee members were co-authors, and this bill would allow employers a second alternative under unemployment insurance during down economic times to reduce employees' hours and have them receive partial unemployment benefits, keep their full employer benefits, and not have to lay people off entirely. The recent Brookings study said that had Indiana been a WorkShare state, we could have saved as many as 34,000 jobs last summer. One large Indiana manufacturer testified in the committee hearing that they shut down 2 plants this past summer and wouldn't have done that if they'd had access to WorkShare as they do in other states. So it was just incomprehensible that this legislation did not move through.
All right, Kevin Brinegar, Indiana Chamber of Commerce, thanks for the update. I know we'll be talking later in the session.
Thank you very much. Look forward to it, Gary.